Take two. Welcome to week 3 of general psychology. I'm making another video for you guys. So this week, the only assignment that's technically due is D2, and you'll earn up to 20 points for participating in our second discussion. Now, I do want to point out that some of you lost points in D1, and I would suggest that you read the comments that I left and make sure you don't make the same mistakes with D2. But just in case you didn't read the comments or you need a little clarification, I wanted to address that now. So the way you earn full credit is if you made your initial post, which was substantive, and you responded to two or more classmates also in a substantive way. And what do we mean by substantive? This means that your post was complete, correct, clear, concise, and creative. By complete, I mean you thoroughly answered all parts of the question. You didn't leave it, just like skimp over. You actually gave a thorough response. By correct, you answered the question in an accurate way. So in other words, you didn't just tell us how you thought and felt. You also integrated information from reading your textbook or watching videos, but you added some content that was legit. It was accurate. So complete correct. By clear, I mean you've proofread your post and it was easy to read, easy to follow. So you've used headings and spacing. You have checked and made sure that you didn't have a lot of grammatical and mechanical errors, and it was just it was put together. So complete, correct, clear. By concise, you didn't ramble on. Now, it's okay if your post was a little bit lengthy because depending on which section you chose to answer, which option you chose, you might have needed more time or a higher word count to actually thoroughly answer the question, right? But in this case, um, you know, if you were redundant and just kept saying the same thing over and over again, was repeating yourself, then that would be considered, not concise. Also, you don't want it to be so brief that you leave out important details or important information. So you're aiming for thoroughly answering the question, so complete, correct, accurately answering the question, concise, being relatively brief, but making sure you still hit those high points, clear, eliminating most mechanical or grammatical errors. And then, if you can, be creative. Let us see your personality. It's okay to add a joke or an image or a link. Go ahead and do that. So you earned points on that first discussion, and you could have earned full credit. In fact, several people earned full credit, but I did notice a lot of people lost points because their responses to peers were just minimal. You just said, "Hey, I like what you said." No, you need to add something to the conversation. Why did you like what they said? And how did what they say apply to everyday life or to your career in the future? Or why is it relevant for someone taking a general psychology class to know that information? So this week, try to do good on D2 like you did in week 1. And if you didn't do so great in D1, do better in D2. All right. So I wanted to go ahead and look ahead to next week because in week 4, you will have your first group assignment, and I will make another video at that time. But next week, you'll actually have to work with your group members to create a group charter. Now, I'm going to put a link to this other video that I posted that is kind of old, but it talks about the group project in a lot more detail. And you can watch that video. It's 7 minutes long and hopefully get some information. But for this video, I will say that in this class, remember, it's a fast-paced class. You can't expect anybody to be on the same page as you 100%. But in terms of collaborating and working together to do the group project, it's 100% possible and feasible. And what you need to do is in the first assignment that's coming up next week, you're going to kind of lay down the ground rules. You're going to tell your members what's the best way to get in touch with you. Is it via email? Is it via text? Do you want to talk on the phone? You're going to let them know how you want to communicate. Also, you guys should set up a frequency. Like, how often are you going to communicate? Are you going to communicate once a week in the group chat that I set up on Canvas? Are you guys going to have a phone call? Are you going to do a Zoom meeting? Like, what are you going to do? It's totally up to the group. You want to pick something that works for everybody in the group. Now, I went ahead and assigned the topics, and the topics are now listed in your different sections in Canvas. So from the home page, you're going to click on People, then you're going to click on Group Project, and then you should see the 9 groups that are in this class, and only one of them will be unlocked. The one that is unlocked for you is the one that you've been assigned to. When you get into your group's homepage, you'll see that I left an announcement for each group, and I simply gave you a topic for you and your group member to work out and figure out what you're going to do. So if you were assigned something like the visual system, well, you and your group members are now tasked with narrowing that topic and making it something that is digestible, that's interesting, that you can research and turn into a presentation and present it to the class. Now, because we're a virtual class, the end product is going to be either a slideshow or a video. We're not meeting in person. Okay, so you have to think about that, you know. But there are 9 different groups, and so each group has been assigned a broad topic. And it's up to the group to narrow that topic and pick something that is, relevant to psychology and interesting for the members. I will tell you that groups 1 through 6, your topics are all come from chapter 5 in the textbook, and groups 8 and 9, your topic come from chapter 4 in the textbook. Notice we will not have chapters 4 and 5 on the midterm, and you will not have 4 and 5 discussion thread, on it right now. Those are the topics that you're going to be researching for your group project and eventually sharing that information with the class, and then there'll be a discussion on it at that time. If you were in group number 7, you're doing careers in psychology, and you can kind of go whichever direction the group wants to go with. So it doesn't have to be chapters 4 or 5. Okay, I think that's kind of what I wanted to highlight for this week. Remember, D3 is a way to earn 20 points. And also, don't forget to check the group thread so you can see what your assigned topic is. Try to be patient. I know not everybody's on board with doing the group project just yet. Next week is the first time that you and group members will be required to meet and actually turn in something as a group. Up until now, it's kind of been just being aware of the project and being aware of who's in your group. So, yeah, I think that's all I want to say. I'm getting ready to make another video, and the video will be on the biological foundations of behavior. I'm pretty much just going to take a PowerPoint that I created, and I'm going to narrate it over it so that hopefully that can help you with, studying for the test and for digesting or learning, understanding the information, and you can hopefully find something useful that you can use in your everyday life. All right, that's pretty much all I have to say. If you got questions, comments, compliments, or concerns, holla at me. Drop a comment in the section below, and I will see your comment. If you want to request a specific video, that's great. Or if you just want to encourage me to keep going, I take that too. All right, that's it, folks.